What's up, my royal army? Welcome back to my channel, baby. It's Gyvania The Godmutha, here to bring y'all that magic, here to bring y'all that love and magic. I am back with another new video. I'm so excited to have this video with you all. Right now, we're going to jump right into it. I'm not even going to waste any energy. I'm putting my hair back. Make sure to check out my last posted video where I show you how to install this unit, which goes with this makeup look. So make sure y'all check that out. Honey, I'm giving old Hollywood glamour, okay? Black Marylin, you hear me? So now we're going to jump right in. This is my skin. I'm really proud of my skin. We're going to jump in with a retinol and collagen cream under my eyes. This is strictly for under the eye. It reduces puffiness. It has a little bit of caffeine in there. Retinol is so important for the skin, and caffeine reduces puffiness. So that's another tip and trick for the girlies. I'm starting out and going in with my BioEssence Squalene Vitamin C and Rosehip Oil. This is a really good serum I like to put on before my foundation. I find that it's very plumping. It moisturizes my skin really well, and it's not oily, which is a key. You do not want greasy, oily skin under your makeup, or your makeup would just slide all over the place. It will not last you all night. So I jump in right with that, and then we're going to go in with my Born This Way liquid foundation in the color Chestnut. This color is so beautiful. So my skin, I have, your godmother, baby, she's super special. She has different kind of skin. She's warm toned, but she's also have that golden undertone as well. Honey, baby, I'm golden inside and out. Just know that. Full of magic. So here we are. I put a very light amount. If you notice, I did not pour a whole bottle and squeeze out pumps and pumps on my face. I use a very thin amount, and I go in all over my skin. I have a no-name brush that I'm using, a fluffy no-name brush that I've had for a long time. So don't worry, any of the other products, I'll make sure to list it on the channel right here. There you go. The next one is going to be the Born This Way Chai. This one has a little bit more of a warm undertone. It's a little bit more on the, I'm not going to say orange side. It's just a little bit more of a tan to it. I decided to take a very small amount and just kind of blend that on top of the chestnut to reduce some of the golden undertones. So that's the way it bleeds through. Like, I want the golden undertone to bleed through as an undertone, but I don't want it to look yellow in like a different face from my neck area. You understand? So this is what we're doing now. Now I'm going in with the new MAC brush. I like to take this brush and just do an extra buffing. So I like to use brushes. I'm not a person to use sponges when I do my makeup. Like, I am not a sponge girl, honey. I am a hands-on brush, painted on brush girl, okay? So we go in with the MAC brush. Now I'm using the Milani Conceal Imperfect in the color 165. This Milani concealer is amazing. Let me tell you all. It's super full coverage. It's blendable. It's layerable. You can definitely use it in many different ways. So I have one that's a little bit lighter than my skin tone. Obviously, that's how it goes with makeup. And I'm going in with a Sonia Kashuk brush, just a small tapered round brush. It doesn't have a number or anything like that, but in the store in Target, you'll be able to look for it and find it. This is the technique that we're using here. I hope you see the positioning of where I put my concealer, because that's very important. Now I'm using the e.l.f. baby. These e.l.f. concealers, the 16-hour camo concealers. Honey, I live for these, honey. You will not see my kit without one of these. It is a perfect balance of full coverage, blendable. Actually, it's blendable, it's buildable, it's full coverage, but it's not drying. That's super important. I can sit it on my face for a little bit, and once it dries down and once it does fully set, it does not move, baby. It's a beautiful, beautiful concealer. So I took the one in Rich Ebony, and I decided to use that as my sculptor. It has the perfect amount of warmth and deep tones that I can use to bring out those shadowy parts of my skin. So right now I'm going back in with that Sonia Kashuk brush, which one is the small taper brush that has no name, and I'm just blending it out under the eye. So I'm gonna let y'all have, get the techniques. Remember, everything is a patting motion. I am not sweeping whatsoever, even though the video is sped up. I am literally just patting everything in. I take my time and pat, 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 and I do not do a lot of pressure. You want to love in your skin, baby. Doing this makeup, when we talk about beating the face, it does create blood flow to the skin to keep a youthfulness in the skin, but we make sure that we pat everything out very gently and seamlessly, honey. Okay, can y'all keep up? I know I said a lot of mouthful. Can you keep up, baby? Keep on watching. I'll help y'all through it. FYI, in this scene, I'm taking it's the same Sonia Kashuk tapered brush. However, I have two of them. I use one for the concealer under my eyes, and I use a different one to do my contouring. So I'm taking that brush and I'm patting in the contour color, and I'm gently rounding out my cheekbones, my jawline. And now I'm going to take a no-name fluffy, it's like a blending brush, and I'm going to use that to taper the nose area. So ladies, also make sure you blend well on the nose. We are not doing in 2025 that dark shadow effect, baby. It's a no-go. By now, you should know how to sculpt your nose and know how to blend it out to where you don't have the harsh lines onto your skin. I should not be able to see the actual shadow of the lines on your face when I look at you in the real 3D time. You understand? That's a no-go. So we're going to take that same little tapered blending brush and I'm going to round up my cheeks just a little bit more. I find that I wanted just a little bit more color, so I'm going to take a little bit more of that rich ebony from e.l.f. and add that onto my skin. If you all notice, I'm not using a whole lot. Like, baby, you can get a flawless face and not use a whole lot of product. You really want that flawless skin look, depending on the texture of your skin. My skin, I take very good care of it. I keep it very moisturized. I also exfoliate very well, so I do have a flat surface to work with, thank God. It takes time and work and effort, honey. I spend a lot of time on myself. You understand, honey? The glory doesn't come easy, baby. But anyways, for a godmother tip, baby, even if you have textured skin and you need to use a little bit more foundation, moisture is key, blending is key, and you do not need a lot of product. You can really get a flawless look without a lot of product. So let's continue. And y'all gonna see me fighting with this hair a little bit, baby. This hair was late, but you know how it goes. Sometimes the little strings and the little fine hairs keep grabbing on to the face. So I may do that a few times. Just bear with me. What I'm doing right now is just reblending under the eye. You do not want any creasing under the eye. I do not play about creasing under the eye. We do not have old lady eyes over here. It's no crow's feet, baby. It's a no, on or with or without makeup. Just know that. But I gotta make sure. So this is the look. This is how flawless it looks right now, with just foundation, creams, and concealer. So we're going to go in with the Sephora powder. It's a matte powder in the color 28.5. This is a bright powder. This is a lot lighter than my skin tone. Once you blend out those creases under your eye, you want to go directly in with some powder. So with this brush, I'm using the e.l.f. brush. It's called the Airbrush Blender. Say it 3 times fast, right? Airbrush Blender, Airbrush Blender, Airbrush Blender. Okay. The Airbrush Blender from e.l.f. It's a really beautiful, flawless brush. I use this brush under my eye to set my foundation. I love a good brush that kind of has like a bunny foot, effect, so to speak, So once I set under my eye, I only use it on the highlighted points. And then I'm going to go in with my favorite, my hands down, listen. Y'all, this is my holy grail, okay? The holy grail of my kit is the one size setting powder in the dark deep. I can't live without it. I need it all the time. I'm using a fluffy brush by e.l.f. Sometimes e.l.f. brushes doesn't always have differential names. Some of them are named blush brushes, even though they're completely different brushes. So you just kind of have to look for it. This one has a little bit of a tip to it. I'm using that with the one size dark deep translucent powder or setting powder, whichever name you prefer. It is, for my skin tone, absolute perfection. I go over all of my points of my face, not only the shadow parts, my contour, but I also take the what's left over on the brush and I'll set under my eye with it so that I have the highlight effect, but I don't have that white effect under the eye. That's not what we're doing either. We don't do the halo eye. We don't do the flashback. We don't do that in 2025. And if you're still doing that in your kid, baby, you need to get on here on the Godmother channel and learn something. You understand? So now we just go back under that eye and we just set it, and look at what happens. You can see the transformation take place. Now we have a beautiful seamless face. Our highlighted points are highlighted, our contoured points are contoured, and we don't look pale under the eye. We don't have that white halo effect. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a different brush, the 168 brush by MAC. It's an angled brush, and I'm going in with my Sephora powder. This is a different matte powder. It's a dark powder. It's a lot more warm tone. It's more of a rich warm tone, like a bronzy warm color. Sometimes I don't like using bronzers because bronzers can be a little bit too purple or too reddish. So I tend to go for, that is my little tip and trick, my godmother trick. I'm giving you guys a trick. You're welcome. I tend to go for foundation powders that are a little bit darker than my skin tone, that have kind of a warm effect, and I'll use that as a contour. Because sometimes you don't want that red cheek. You don't want that it's not quite bronzy. You can't say bronzy on a chocolate skin. You know what I mean? So that's what we do, honey. I gave y'all a tip. Now we going in with Made by Michelle, y'all. Bow, bow, bow. Made by Michelle. I got this from BeautyCon, you guys. I went to BeautyCon LA in 2024 and it was amazing. I got a few of these products from a counter who were giving them away for free. Y'all should have seen the line. Actually, you can go watch it. I have a video when I went to BeautyCon and there was a long line. Probably the only line in BeautyCon was for this actual place besides Anastasia and like one other brand. So we're going in with a cream blush and then we're also going to use a liquid blush. So we have Rosy Posy, the liquid, and then we have Sweet Cheeks, which is the cream. And I'm taking my e.l.f. brush that I have and I'm going to lightly blend that over my skin. Oh my God, y'all, look at this. Look at this. Look, girl. Do you hear this? Do you see this? Do you see the flawless? I'm doing this on, oh my God, y'all realize something? I actually went over it after I put my setting powder, which is something I don't normally do. I usually do my cream first, but look how flawless this is. Right after I set my powder foundation, I literally just saw that right now. I went in with the Sweet Cheeks, which is the cream blush right now. I'm actually redoing it, and then I'm going in with the Rosy Posy, which is the liquid. I mix them two together on my hand. I take the e.l.f. brush, which is a really beautiful taper e.l.f. brush, very dense, and I lightly put that on the high points of my cheeks. Make sure you hear what I'm saying, baby. We keep it on the high notes over here, you know, squabble up. We put it on the high points of the cheeks, okay? You want to lightly layer that on, okay? You don't want to have too much product on the brush so that you have a harsh transfer. You want to start off with a little bit layer and gradually layer that baby on. I like to do a little bit on the nose because it gives the baby doll look. Honey, we're giving Barbie, we're giving Black Barbie, we're giving baby doll. And for the old Hollywood glam, I find that that is a small touch that they would do to really bring you to the center of the face, to bring a focal point to the center of the face. So I'm also going to go back in with my taper brush from MAC in that same contour powder, and I just go around the edges, baby. Okay, do you see what we're working with? This movie I'm watching, y'all gotta see this movie. I was like, I had to start talking, so I'm talking to the camera, baby. So I had to start talking because I'm normally doing a voiceover over this, but I'm watching this movie, y'all, and I'm like, oh, this is good. This is called something Camino. I gotta get the name. It's with Queen Latifah and Ludacris on Netflix. Woo! It's good, y'all. But anyways, y'all see the look? It's giving. Honey, baby, I'm giving all the way Barbie. You see the look? You see the hair? I'm giving the same real. I look like something off of AI. That's what I'm giving. Okay, and I'm not even done. Let's go. Now, y'all see how rosy the cheeks are? I'm gonna go over it with translucent powder. So let's get back in. Let's get back to the voiceover so I can finish my movie. And you know, serve up these looks for y'all. You ready? Let's go. Okay, honey, we are back. I had to give y'all a little moment. So now we're going to use the one size translucent color. So I have the dark deep and I also have it in the translucent. I'm telling y'all, my saving grace. Let me show you why. Watch how I take this e.l.f. tapered brush. This is considered another blush brush, but it's small and tapered. Just make sure you look for it. I'm taking a little bit of that translucent powder. If you notice, I'm not putting a whole lot. I don't do the baking or anything like that. I just casually layer it on very seamlessly. So watch, look at the dewiness. Look at the difference. Left side of the face, beautiful and flawless. Look at, I love a good dewy, but let me show you how I bring that back to a perfect set where I give that flawless skin and it still has that light dewy effect because I'm not baking and using too much powder. Also, I take it over the blush. I want you all to see that cream blush that I in the liquid and cream mix that I put on my face. I'm not only using the powder to set my highlighted points, I'm also setting over the blush because what it does is not only set that liquid and cream blush, but it also creates a foundation for when I go over it with powder. It's even more flawless. It's nice and soft. It's not too harsh. It's just, you know, it's just, baby, we giving flawless, baby. We giving flawless. This is what we on, okay? No matter where you are, you can have that celebrity look, that celebrity makeup look on your own and be walking out here looking like a whole god. You understand? Okay, so now we're using a brush by MAC. Guys, I've had these brushes for a very long time. You already see. Go back and rewind it to get the name. I'm not going to put it up right now. What I'm doing is I'm taking a little bit of the dark deep and I'm going Hello? Oh yeah, we had a little moment right there, but let me show you how to fix that. You're gonna take the translucent powder brush and you go over and you blend it out. Simple as that. I'm taking a little bit more of that dark deep and I'm just setting over all the areas of my face again, just lightly, just over the contour areas more than anything. So now we're gonna go in with the Makeup Forever Limitless Berry. So I'm gonna take a different e.l.f. brush, even though it's the same tapered fluffy brush that I use to set my powder all over my face. I'm using a different one. Obviously I have sometimes double of the same brushes because I really like them. And I'm lightly putting that blush over the areas that we use the cream blush. Okay, now mind you, the cream blush is so beautiful, you can leave it as is once you set it. However, I like mine to be a little bit more pronounced, so I took a little bit of that Makeup Forever and I just casually set it over the top very lightly, layered it on very lightly so that the cream blush can still bleed through. Okay, y'all heard me, casually, honey. We casually layering on the blush. Okay, so as we move on, we're gonna move on to the next thing. What I'm gonna do is I decided that I wanted a little bit more in-depth contour, so I went ahead and took the MAC brush in the same contour powder from Sephora, which is the deeper toned matte foundation powder, and I just went in my cheeks just a little bit more because I wanted that to be a little bit more pronounced, as well as the blush. Now baby, we almost there. We're finishing it off. We're coming down to the finished point of our face. As you see, I keep pushing the hair back because the hairs keep trying to get in my way. Honey, tell the ops to get up off me, honey. They always want me. So what I decided to do was take a warm toned foundation powder as well as kind of a berry toned colored eyeshadow, and I went on my eyelids. I just reiterated that on my eyelids to pop it out a little bit more. I also took the same contour powder that I used on my cheeks and I went down the areas of my nose where we put the Rich Ebony e.l.f. concealer on. So that's the way we set it, baby. We set that. We still have that pronounced after all the setting powder. We still defined the face, and also we wanted to define the crease and bring down that highlight under the eyebrow. I wanted a rich highlighted eyebrow like that because that's how that Hollywood glamour look used to look like. So I like a little bit more of that halo under the eyebrow because that's more of a vintage look. So that's the look I'm going for. So what I like to do after I had my moisturizer on my lips, the moisture that I use on my lips is actually a LA Girl, the tinted lip plumper. So the LA Girl has a beautiful tinted lip plumper that really plumps up the lips and gives you kind of a natural stain to it. So what I like to do is, after I remove that off with the powders, because I don't like to put my lip products on with the powder that I use on my face, I take my chestnut lip liner, and if you notice, I'm going right on the front side of the brim of my lip. I'm not going over, I'm just going right on it, because what I want to do is define the front of my lip and my top lip to have that full effect, even though my lips are already full, baby. All natural over here, honey. God made, on God. You hear me? On God. So I take that and I blend it a little bit down on my top lip and my bottom lip. And what I'm gonna do, I'm actually going to go in with a liner that I have from the beauty supply store. This is the Wet n Wild Simmer Brown in the 603A. It's really, really nice. It's a deeper brown. It's similar to the chestnut with a little bit of a darker tone, which I love. Now with this one, I'm actually gonna go on the outer side of the brim of the lip. So if you notice, I'm putting it all the way on the top brim. So what this is gonna do is give me that Marilyn Monroe kind of effect, that really full pouty lip effect. I'm using a different brown because it creates dimension. The chestnut brown is really solid, it's beautiful. It always does well on chocolate skin tones and bringing out the definition in our lips. And using a deeper, darker color on the brim of your lip just defines it a lot more. You guys are gonna see what I mean when I add an even darker color to show you the difference in the effect. So stay tuned for that. Right now, what I'm using is a lip tint by e.l.f. Y'all, I love e.l.f. products. e.l.f. brought the fire. They brought the heat, honey. They brought the power this past year. So I am in love with e.l.f. products. This is a lip tint called Power Mauve. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely stunning on my skin tone. Okay, this is my go-to. It's moisturizing and it gives the perfect lip tint for a chocolate skin tone. Royal Army, Royal Queens. This is the tea that I wanted to show you. I went in with a black lip liner just at the cupid's bow of my lip and the bottom portion of my lip. Do you see the difference, baby? Do you see the pouty girl effect, the plump girl effect, the full lip effect? That is a key detail in doing your lips, okay? So I use 3 different lip liners: a standard brown that mimics my skin tones, a darker brown to define my lip a lot more in the rim, and then I went in with a black lip liner. I got mine from the beauty supply store. It's just a standard one from the beauty supply store, and it was very soft. It's from the NK brand. If you know, you know, from the beauty supply store. So what I did was, I find that I put on a nice light pink, but I didn't like how the browns kind of blended all with it. So I wiped some of the liner off. You know, sometimes when your lips are a little bit moist, it could bleed the liner into the lip and turn the whole thing brown. I didn't want that. So I wiped some of it off. I went in with a pink colored lipstick from MAC, and then I lightly put a little bit more of the Power Mop over the top. Okay, so here we're gonna go in with the I'm gonna call it the Chocolate Girl's secret weapon. You hear me? We get our beautiful lip gloss from the beauty supply store, which I love. You know, there's so many different kinds. Any one of them really will work for you. So mine is just a clear minted lip gloss, and I'm going over the whole entire lip. I use my finger to blend it out so that I don't mix the colors really well. I put on a good amount so that I'm able to move around the product without it bleeding. Baby, look at that. Do you see the rim? Do you see what I mean? Do you see the lip liner? Do you see how the black sits on the cupid's bow and just defines it enough to where you can see the definition of my lips pop out, and then all the browns and the colors just blend? I'm giving. You want to kiss me? You want to kiss? I know. Get into this face. Get into it. So this is where we are, guys. I'm absolutely loving it. Now I'm going to finish off with my details, which are my natural beauty marks onto my face. I'm going to define my eyeliner just a little bit more, so that it's a little bit more, it's a little sharp, and that's what we want to do. And y'all ready? I'm about to give y'all that Marylin, honey. This is the black Marylin. She's about to come in right now. Bow. Here we go. Yeah, you thought I was gonna go on that side, honey. Just like that video, you can't let your op see where you're moving, baby. You can't let them see where you're moving. So this is what we are. I hope you all love this gorgeous black Marylin old Hollywood glamour look. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a vintage reel, so get into it. Enjoy the video. Make sure you check out the install the wig. Make sure you like and subscribe and all that stuff you hear on the regular. Hit that ding ding. Don't play with a real one, baby. It's Gyvania The Godmutha. I hope you have a grand one.
Oh.